Hi, Raymond. Thank you for sending in your essays. Now let's have a look at them. Okay, just before I go on, I noticed that you probably selected your own tasks for practice, because I can see that the task 2 essay is not about international marketing. It's about parents and children. So in the future, just remember, please make sure that you select the tasks from the list that we provide. And if you sign up for any course with us, make sure that you always keep to the tasks of the course, because that is the agreement, let's say, that we kind of decide on. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to provide feedback on what you sent, because I'm sure you're interested in it. Now let's have a look. In task 1, you have a bar chart about unemployment, right? Female unemployment rates in each country of the United Kingdom. All right, let me have a look at it myself. Okay. Good. And let me see if the size looks okay. So the bar chart demonstrates that the percentage of women unemployment. Okay, you don't really need the stat. Allow me to start my track changes function. Okay, you don't need the relative pronoun that here, no, because you're not introducing a clause, you know. Okay, the data was collected from the United Kingdom. Okay, perhaps you could be a bit more specific and connect this second sentence to the first one. Something like the bar chart demonstrates the percentage of women unemployment in 2013 and 14. You can also say not demonstrates, but contrast the percentages of women unemployment collected from the 4 countries in the United Kingdom. Okay, and this is how you reduce the number of your words and gain more points for the range of grammatical for structures. Overall, England had a significant percentage in 2013 in these 4 places. I beg your pardon, what? Meanwhile, the lowest unemployment rate of women was in Northern Ireland in 2014. Wait. What do you mean England had a significant percentage in these 4 places? I am not sure what you mean, because England is not the UK. The UK is all of these together: England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. They are 4 separate countries, but not independent, because they are part of the United Kingdom of and never mind. So remember, this sentence is a bit confusing. I mean, it's confusing a lot, I would say. Okay. The lowest, I like the fact that you are trying to highlight the minimums and maximums. This is great. So the lowest unemployment rate for women, and it should be for women, I would say, was in Northern Ireland in 2014. Okay. So Northern Ireland, 2014, 4.6, obviously. Okay. In terms of England, well, you should say in terms of, but you cannot say in terms of England. You can say, as for England, in 2013, the figure of females who did not have jobs was the highest. You don't need the one. However, it decreased slightly to 6.5 in 2014, followed by Scotland, which had an opposite situation. I wouldn't say that it was followed by Scotland. I can't correct that, because in order to correct some of the things, I would end up rephrasing the whole paragraph. That's why I simply put it in bold and make a comment. Okay, so you can't say that it was followed by Scotland. You can say that Scotland, on the other hand, had a completely opposite situation in comparison with England. It only had 6.1 women percent of women unemployment rate, yet the proportion rose dramatically. Which proportion? Reached 6.7 and replaced the number of England, becoming the highest rate What do you mean it replaced the number of England? No, if you say replace, it means it went instead of England. So there is no dynamic here, you know. The thing is that, let's say we are comparing England in 2013 and Scotland in 2013. The difference is zero point 0.7, right? While the difference in 2014 is zero point 0.2. So you are describing as if these figures progress dynamically, but they don't. That's the thing. It's simply 1 year versus another year, one country versus another country. Okay? So if you say the proportion rose dramatically, it looks like, in 2013 for Scotland it was 0 0.5, but in 2014 it was 2.3, and in 2015 it was 10.5. This means it rose dramatically. It means that when the increase over 3 years, it was huge. But there is nothing like this here. So it's not the proportions, the percentages for one country, let's say Scotland, for 10 years. In that context, you can say it rose dramatically. Otherwise, no, sorry about that. It's just the way the logic works. The number of England can't work because it didn't replace anything. You can say in 24, I mean, you can make the minimums and maximums per year, right? So nothing replaced. You can say that the highest rate of unemployment as per 2014 was recorded or registered in Scotland. England coming second, Wales third, and Northern Ireland last, respectively. And Northern Ireland coming with the lowest rate of female unemployment. This is how you can compare, but unfortunately, you cannot use the word replaced. Okay, anyway, to regard with Wales. No, again, not to regard with Wales. Again, my favorite is F4, but you can't use it forever, right? You could say, conversely, Wales had the lowest proportion of unemployment in 2013. In addition, it registered a steady decrease from this to that in 2014. Okay. Wait a second, the decrease didn't happen in 2014. You are comparing the value of 2013 to 2014. So you should be very careful with the formulation, had a decrease in 2014. So this is factually inaccurate. Meanwhile, the percentage of women unemployed in Northern Ireland started at, and then it dropped. You can't say it was dropped because no one dropped it, and reached 4.6 when? Again, if you say this, it means it became 4.6 in 2013, which is incorrect. Furthermore, it finally became the lowest female unemployment rate in 2014. And it looks like there's a third figure here, while in fact you actually mean this. So you would really use a good concluding sentence, one concluding sentence. But the thing is that while you have all the right highlights, you describe them not very accurately. That's the thing. Okay, I think I spent too long only on the first task, but I really hope it makes sense. Okay. And yes, anyway, if you do it this way, you will lose points not only for vocabulary, you will use points for task achievement because you are reporting the data incorrectly. Okay, so now let's look at the essay. Some parents give their children everything that their children ask for or they want to do. Is it good for children? What could be the consequences when they grow up? So you really have to answer that. In recent times, some people have sparked heated debate about whether mother and father should give their children whatever they want. I strongly disagree with the statement, and this essay will attempt to look into key features along with examples for the problems when these children become adults. Okay, key features of what? Key features of the problems? Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure because key features kind of make me think. Wait a second. What is this about? Okay, you're trying to rephrase. I really like this, but I wouldn't use some people have sparked a heated debate. You could use passive and say that a heated debate has been sparked about whether mother and father and so on and so forth. Okay, nice introduction. I can see your stance, and but I would work on a clear formulation of this. And what you don't have here in this thesis statement is the main arguments. It would be really an advantage for your essay structure score. I mean, task achievement and coherence and cohesion, if you said because of this and of that. To begin with, although parents have responsibility to take care of their children, they also need to give them a conscious of self-control. What do you mean a conscious of self-control? A sense of self-control. You cannot say what you wrote because conscious is an adjective, and I don't understand why you put it there. But you can say a sense of self-control. Okay, so you mean they have to teach them self-control. Children receive many benefits without effort. They might become lack. They might not develop the ability to adapt to society challenges in the future. Okay, this is one option, but it's not really clear what you mean precisely. Okay, for instance, a statistic by University of Cambridge which found okay, I think we have a little problem with verbs and grammar. For instance, a statistic by University of Cambridge found that the vast majority of people who received a positive sense of value from whom? From whom or how did they receive that? And what do you put in the concept of positive sense of value? I'm not sure that I understand completely. Found that they are harder to overcome stress than others. I don't understand the sentence. I have to apologize. What do you mean? It's harder for them to overcome stress than you are contradicting yourself. Um, so, wait a second. If you say that people received a positive, so okay, I don't understand what you meant a positive sense of value. Let me tell you what it actually means. It means that these people are really valuable. For example, your parents encourage you and support your ideas, opinions, and decisions. They give you a positive sense of value, okay? Because you are valuable to them. Your opinions are valuable. What you're writing here is something else. You probably mean those who received too much financial support from their parents. So this is confusing. They're psychologically confused why it is so complicated to achieve or gain what they want in reality. You cannot say psychologically confused, no. Why it is. I'm trying to correct the minor things because I'm not sure I completely understand your idea, and that's a great mistake, and that mistake comes at the level of task achievement. Seen in this slide, it is clear that the drawbacks that the main drawback of parents lies um, in let's say excessive love for their children, if you want to put it that way. Okay, I like the ideas, but I think you really need to work on the way you formulate them because it is difficult to understand what you mean, and that is due to language errors, okay, and to insufficient clarification as well. Secondly, some scholars discover, you probably mean discovered, that some children have trouble about communication with peers. Okay, first of all, some scholars, some children, something needs to be changed here. That children, let's say, or certain children. You can say, instead of some, you can say certain. Certain children have trouble in communication with their peers. Their peers. This is largely because their behavior is aggressive. No, not plural, is aggressive and strange with other children. Again, you're repeating yourself, and you could connect this sentence to the previous one to add more complexity to your sentence structure. This reason is the reason for that is that the parents would give them anything that they want, and therefore when they are studying in schools or communicating with others, they might not take it they might not it might not be easy for them to grant their personal wishes. I'm really hoping that I'm getting your idea right, because I'm struggling to figure out what you meant because of the language, right? We really need to work on language, Raymond, a lot. You have nice ideas, you have very nice ideas, but you have to work on appropriate use of grammar and vocabulary. Otherwise, it might be difficult to achieve the target that you want. Okay. Anyway, we do have some strategies and approaches to this in our online course, and I will tell you about that a bit later. But you really need to work on that. According to a study by International Children Organization, which claims that children communication can be known as an intuitive. What do you mean by this? First of all, this is an incomplete situation sentence. According to this study, what happens? Because this is a clause. You say, which claims? You probably mean, according to a study, children's communication is an intuitive subject. What do you mean by intuitive subject? Because I am not sure that I understand. When some children who do not have the ability to manage their emotions, their classmates will realize that it is quite hard to talk with them. The root cause can be considered by parent faults. Thus, it is undeniable to claim that the children are usually influenced by a wrong way of teaching. Okay, let's do it like this. I am completely confused by what you mean here. I'm not sure why you have intuitive subject here. I'm not sure why we are discussing peer communication, but I can kind of intuitively come to the idea that you are trying to explain that it is the parents' fault because they gave them everything they want, and so somehow their communication skills with their peers suffered. I don't see the connection, and I don't think you are successful in explaining this connection. Please tell me what you think about that. But this paragraph needs a serious rethinking and rewriting. But you have an interesting idea. I simply want to understand why that happens. I mean, how are the parents to blame for an inability to communicate with peers? So more clarity. In conclusion, the cited evidence provides a strong support for the point of view that parents should not overlove, like express excessive love for their children and provide anything they ask for. In my opinion, I greatly believe that children will be negatively affected in their communication ability and adaptation by unsuitable teaching methods of parents. Okay, I got your idea, but the formulations are a bit awkward. I can try and very quickly try and rephrase this the way it would sound more natural. But again, this is not the only way of doing this. Okay. In conclusion, the cited evidence provides a strong support for the point of view that I hold, and namely that parents should not express excessive love for their children and consequently provide anything they ask for. In my opinion, I believe that, children, as a result of that, children's communication ability as well as adaptation to society will be affected negatively by this unsuitable teaching approach of parents. Something like this, but this is not perfect. I don't like it totally myself. Okay, anyway, it's not a big deal. You can learn how to do this properly. That's why we have elaborated a very effective online course that can be completed in only 7 or 8 days. Have a look at the link at the end of my feedback email. And remember that if you join the online course, the full online course, in the next 24 hours, you will receive 2 essay corrections for free and a $10 discount. So throughout the course, you'll learn all the required strategies for everything, for task achievement, coherence and cohesion, vocabulary use and grammar use. But again, vocabulary and grammar are very much your competence. You cannot build that in 7 days, but you can fix many other problems. So have a look at that offer. I'm sure you will find it interesting, and I'm really hopeful that my feedback is going to help you improve, because you have great ideas, and I really want to see them um, realized in beautiful language and in the essay bank that you actually deserve. So all the best of luck.